Infants cry and toddlers shout the glory of your name. Handmade skies, the moon and stars resounding with your fame. Much more fragile, even frail, this life song that I sing. Hesitant and stuttering, the praises that I bring. This simple life, this clumsy walk, what do you see in me? How can it be? This humble gift is all you want from me, all you want from me.
We are on a journey from unnatural motherhood to natural motherhood, where we embrace whether we are a palm, a boxwood, or one of the wonderful combinations. And we are going beyond that to becoming supernatural moms. A part of that journey is looking beyond just our tree types, like the blind man who had to come back for a second round of prayer so that he could see humans. We did a little bit of that in our previous talk. And we said the journey of every mom is so unique that you and I really don't have anything to say about it, except, Lord, I think I should be kind. This is not an easy journey for any one of us, but the judgment is rife. Do you remember those little text messages? Well, today's session is about Unnatural Moms Unite. We are going to unite as a group of moms who will commit today not to be the ones who judge any longer. And this is not just because I think it's a good idea, but because the word says so. I'm going to read from Galatians 6, verse 1. It says, live creatively, friends. If someone falls into sin, like Rebecca with her favoritism, forgivingly restore him or her, saving your critical comments for yourself. You might be needing forgiveness before the day is out. Stoop down and reach out to those who are oppressed. Share their burdens and so complete Christ's law. If you think you are too good for that, you are badly deceived. Not my words, it's what it says here. None of us should be judging, and yet we do. What are we going to do about that? Well, I've come to believe that when we have accepted ourselves and we truly love ourselves and the design God has made us with, we are ready to love others better. So we are going to start with ourselves. Have you ever been on an airplane where those masks dropped from the ceiling because there was a loss of cabin pressure? Now, I haven't been on any one of those, but we all know the instructions off by heart. It's something like, in case of the loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above you. Place it over your own nose and mouth first, and then breathe normally. And then it tells you to assist the other passengers and children. Well, understanding yourself is like that. It's every time there's conflict between moms or between moms and their children, it's like a loss of cabin pressure, and we really need to breathe. And our first breath should be, I'm okay, because I know who I am, and God has equipped me to deal with this. But we only know this when we really know ourselves. So this is the point in today's workshop where you need to get a hold of that Tall Trees parent report of yours or the Unnatural Mom report, because we are going to work with those. And at first we are going to start with a discussion where birds of a feather will flock together, and actually we call this part of the workshop Bond with a Buddy. So you're going to find somebody who has the same tree type as you have. So just reflect again. Can you remember your result? Maybe you need to page into your report. Are you a pine tree, a palm tree, a rose bush, a boxwood? Are you a combination? Well, if you're a combination, you're going to have to look at the graphics on the slide that will show you which group you need to join, the group that is most like you. Because we're only going to divide into the 4 main groups: rose bush-like people together, boxwood type moms together, lollipop boxwood tree liane type moms in one group, and the pine tree peaceful penny-like moms together. Now, if you notice that your group has more than 7 people in it, please just subdivide, because we want little groups in which everyone has an opportunity to be heard. Now, we are going to play some fun music while you find your buddies. An easy way to find your buddy is to use hand signals. So if you don't know one another very well, this can come in handy. If you're a rose bush, you just make a thorn sign above your head like this. Own your thorns, people. We know who we are. We can be prickly. Just show up with your thorn. If you are a perfectionist boxwood, just show that perfect round ball of the topiary tree. It's also the sign for perfection, so use it. And then if you're a pine tree, just make a little roof above your head. And if you're lazy, which some pine trees are, you can use just one hand. That's fine too. So this is you if you're a pine tree. If you're a palm tree, we need to see a nice leaf like this, and also your hip. You know, you need to put your hip into it because you like the pose. We know it. So you may do the whole pose. And this is how you're going to find one another, but you're going to have to do it very quickly. When the music stops, you need to have your friends. So I hope you took your vitamins. Ready, steady, go.
Infants cry and toddlers shout the glory of your name. Handmade skies, the moon and stars resounding with your fame. Much more fragile, even frail, this life song that I sing. Hesitant and stuttering, the praises that I bring. This simple life, this clumsy walk, what do you see in me? How can it be? This humble gift is all you want from me. All you want from me. Miraculous, surprising truth, you made us all to rule. Just slightly less than angels, much more than bumbling fools. In your image, in your path, with courage to prevail. Still we struggle, still we strain, still we often fail. This simple life, this clumsy walk, what do you see in me? How can it be? This humble gift is all you want from me. All you want from me.
Ja, dat is nice. Bron niet.
This simple life, this clumsy walk, what do you see in me? How can it be? This humble gift is all you want from me. This simple life, this clumsy walk, what do you see in me? How can it be? This humble gift is all you want from me. All you want from me.
Great, so you have found buddies to bond with. Now you're going to have a discussion. And for this discussion, you are going to use the section in your report called Fields of Greatness. These are tasks and duties in motherhood that you are a natural at. So for just a little while, you're allowed to brag a little and say, I'm great at this. So page to that section, and for about 4 minutes each, take the opportunity to say, yeah, this is one of the things on my list that I've actually recently done well, and share your testimonies with one another, because what you're actually doing is you're testifying to the truth that God has equipped you for your journey. So have your discussion. be fair, that's quite easy. I mean, wave a little if you felt normal and wonderful and a little natural for the first time in a long while. Yes, discussing mothering with people just like you, that's easy. But what about discussing mothering with people who are not at all like you? This is where humility comes in. Now, earlier I've read Galatians 6, verse 1 to 3, and now I'm going to continue from verse 4, because here are gems about how to handle those other moms, those weird ones, those groups that you saw who didn't act like you do and who don't do mothering the way you do. Make a careful exploration of who you are and the work you have been given. This is where you do your profile and you dig into that report. And then sink yourself into that. Don't be impressed with yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. Oh, and I love this next sentence. Each of you must take responsibility for doing the creative best you can with your own life. We are very good at doing our creative best with somebody else's life, where we step in and say, oh, I know what you should do. No. It says, be very sure now, you have been trained to a self-sufficient maturity, that you enter into a generous common life with those who have trained you, sharing all the good things that you have and experience. Don't be misled. No one makes a fool of God. What a person plants, he will harvest. The person who plants selfishness, ignoring the needs of others, ignoring God, harvests a crop of weeds. All he'll have to show for his life is weeds. But the one who plants in response to God, letting God's Spirit do the growth work in him, harvests a crop of real life, eternal life. So let's not allow ourselves to get fatigued doing good. At the right time, we will harvest a good crop if we don't give up or quit. Right now, therefore, every time we get the chance, let us work for the benefit of all, starting with the people closest to us in the community of faith. In summary, there are 5 things that you and I need to commit to if we are going to turn into supernatural moms. The first thing is figure out your part to play. The second part is don't feel either inferior or superior to anyone else. Thirdly, even if you feel mature and self-sufficient, share your life. In the fourth place, don't selfishly ignore God's prompting and other people's needs. And lastly, tirelessly work for the benefit of your community. This picture of a community that shares and cares is possible right within this room. In that room where you are sitting are the solutions to all your parenting problems, and are locked up in the other moms who are not like you. It's hard to believe. You look at that mom and you're thinking, I don't think she can help me much. I think she probably needs my help, but she's not asking for it. That's how we talk. When in reality, that mom that you judge probably holds a very important key. Judgment is the lowest level of relationship. And today we are going to try and grow through the levels from judging one another to knowing one another, understanding the other person, really respecting them, accepting their differences, and ultimately valuing them. And for that, I would like you to page to the section called the appreciation tree in your reports. As you are paging there, I want to really urge you to be honest with yourself in the next few minutes. Look around you in the room, even if you have to do it secretly, and admit to yourself who that mom is that you just don't get. Maybe you don't judge her, but you can't truly say you know her. Maybe you know her, but you still don't always understand. Honestly, own up to yourself. Who are the people that you don't know? The people that you still judge? The people that you don't value as somebody who can make a contribution to your life? Those are the moms that you're going to get to know a whole lot better right in this session. If you have the guts to do this, take a pen or a pencil and make a little note on that page in your report. Maybe use this mom's initials if she's not sitting right next to you. Use an alias and say, this is a mom I still judge. This is a mom I need to get to know better. And now set that aside, and what we're going to do now is we're going to explore how we can do what's on that list, how we can help one another. So we are going to give you a little bit of time to take a Post-it note and to write down 2 things from your fields of greatness. One off of the list that you've just checked. So maybe I'm a box rose, and one of my fields of greatness is organizing a complex task. Now, this is something like a school play. I can do that. So I write on a little Post-it note, I can organize a complex event, and then I write my name underneath it. And then I think beyond that of another practical thing that I'm gifted at. Maybe I know I can organize a carpool. I can draw up a schedule of people who need to cook when somebody's going through illness or death. So I'm good at that, and I write that on a little note. Now we are going to put up those notes on a wall if you have one in the room where you are, or if you are in little groups around a table, you can just put those Post-it notes or index cards right on the table. Remember to put your name at the bottom. Go for it. Offer what is uniquely yours to give to your motherhood community. Go for it.
No, we're not alone, and we're not in control. There's a higher hand who holds these lives, who pierces heart and soul. So much mystery, we often lose our way. There's a gleaming light that shows us where to walk and where to stay. We will serve the Lord with all our days. We'll always seek His face. We will worship now and evermore in the welcome of His grace. No, we're not the brave. We're human in our fear, but we know where our help will come from. We know our God is here. We're still incomplete, too easily deceived. We're the broken bride who tries to love, who chooses to believe. We will serve the Lord with all our days. We'll always seek His face. We will worship now and evermore in the welcome of His grace. Bless this house, oh Lord, we pray. Make it safe by night and day. And when the evil comes inside, show us where to rest and hide in the twilight of our time. So much darker than before. We can speak for all the world, but this house will worship and adore. We will serve the Lord with all our days. We'll always seek His face. We will worship now and evermore in the welcome of His grace. We will serve the Lord with all our days. We'll always seek His face. We will worship now and evermore in the welcome of His grace. Bless this house, O Lord. Make it safe by night and day. When the
Wonderful. Now your walls of fame, or actually your galleries of grace, should now be finished. Now it is time to be humble and to admit that we often need one another's help. It's your opportunity to get up from the table where you are and to walk over to another table, or to go to the wall where the post notes are up, and to acknowledge something that you need. I will look for that note that says, I will bake your child's next birthday cake, because I have such a friend who does that for me. And I had to admit that I just don't experience joy or give joy when I do it, but she does. Maybe you'll look for a note that says, I will talk to your difficult teenager about his behavior on your behalf. Maybe you are that person who needs the help. Maybe you're a penny who doesn't go into the conflict. So whatever it is, go and get it. And if you are in a particularly tight spot, you're allowed to take 2 or 3. Go for it.
On the way to perseverance, through the heartache and the strain, I was soon to realize there was purpose in the pain. On the road to become holy, to a faith more firm and pure, you were there to guide me on to the wellspring of the cure. There was much I didn't know through this journey. You've been growing hope in me, hope for me, more than a destiny I'd see. You were building hope in me. I was traveling to patience, it was proving hard to find. At a junction down that road, I had to leave my pride behind. At a sign called consecration, I had to choose where I would go. It said I'd find a place called peace, where the broken people grow. There's so much I couldn't see, more and more. You want to be hope in me, hope for me, more than a destiny I'd see. You were building hope in me. I blindly followed you through deserts with faith that won't be put to shame. My hand in yours, I found my reason. There's so much that I don't see, more and more. You want to be hope in me, hope for me, more than a destiny I'd see. You want to be hope in me, hope for me, more than a destiny I'd see. You were building hope in me. In me.
Here is where it really gets fun or tough, depending on how proud we are. Because here is where I want you to take those cards or those notes that you took and your report under your arm, and I want you to go and find that person that you need, but also that person who needs you, who has the post-it note that you put on the wall or on the table. Take your report with you and go read one another your needs. Be transparent, be vulnerable, be honest. If you need to, you can page back to that page about the appreciation tree. And you can go look for that mom you judged. And you can go to her instead, and you can say, I want to move at least one step up the ladder. I want to get to know you. May I please read your report? I want to see what kind of a tree you are. I want to learn how to love you. I want to see what your fertilizer is, how I can take better care of you. I want to look at what your frostbite is, those areas in motherhood that drain you. And I want to see if there is any way in which I can serve you. Because this truly is the heart of the Christian community. And it's when we do this that people look at us and say, they are different because they love one another. Jesus said it in Luke 6, verse 31 to 34. Here is a simple rule of thumb for behavior. Ask yourself what you want people to do for you. Then grab the initiative and do it for them. Isn't it true that when you read through your report and there's this list of fertilizer, you go, if somebody will just do this for me, oh, here is your opportunity to be first. If you only love the lovable, do you expect a pat on the back? Run-of-the-mill sinners do that. If you only help those who help you, do you expect a medal? Garden variety sinners do that. If you only give for what you hope to get out of it, do you think that's charity? This encourages me to tackle those tough relationships and to make a commitment to not be the mom who slanders, but the mom who serves. And this is my challenge to you as well. So why don't we join moms who have made this commitment to unite as unnatural moms and to create an environment in which every mom and every child will feel at home. Let's read this commitment together.
I will remember that you are a planting of God, different from me in root and fruit.
I will remember that I've often needed someone just like you.
and that you may someday call on me.
I will pray you through your winter seasons without judging
your bare branches.
I will trust God with you, even when
neither of us can see a single sign of the promise.
I will stand up for you when the enemy hurls accusation
and shame at you.
I will not try to overshadow you, but rather to add my shade to yours.
I will make a garden of grace with you where every unnatural mom can feel natural
and every child can be safe.
Now for one more challenge. The challenge to truly accept and appreciate our spouses. Yep, I'm going to go there because that is where we also judge and don't know and understand one another well enough. Maybe as you've read through your report, you read through your needs and you realize he doesn't fulfill a single one. Maybe you read through your fields of greatness and you feel like you do everything in the house. I've been there. I've looked at my husband and thought, I think I'm okay as a parent. I think he is the problem. And then what do you...
Me? How could I be the problem?
By being my opposite. By being pine palm when I am box rose predominantly with a palm tree that doesn't operate when you're around, I guess.
Well, if you read my fields of greatness in my report, then you would see that I'm just great at supporting people and I love to support them. I just can't smell when they need support and what they need support with. I kind of need to be told.
Yeah, or you can just read my report.
Yes, but I don't like reading anything.
Oh, come on.
Is there a movie?
Okay, there's a short and there's a summary. Okay, but the bottom line is I read yours not too long ago. And when I read through your list of frostbite items, the things that drain you, I discovered something very, very shocking. I am your frostbite. Because there on your frostbite it says people who get overly emotional, people who emphasize, rules above relationships. And I'm afraid that is me occasionally. So sorry, Annie, I know that I can also be tough to live with.
Yeah, so that's why I'm cold all the time, right? You're my frostbite.
Yeah,
no, but to be frank and honest, to be a palm pine's frostbite, you only need to show signs of life, and you are it because we are chill, and we just like to have fun. And life is serious, and because I know myself, and I'm fortunate enough to know my own report, I know that. That yes, it's not hard to be my frostbite.
I just want to pause here. You said life is serious. I don't think I've ever heard that phrase from your mouth, because that's my line. Life is serious, honey.
Yes, and my line is, let's try to make it less serious.
Okay, well, anyway, so you guys can tell that we have a lot of work to do, and we have been working at this marriage for 25 years, because we've known each other for 25 years and we've been married for 24. And the thing is, it took me at least 18 years before I realized that I actually needed this man who was my opposite. And I thank God every day that he is not like me, that he has perspective, that he stays cool and calm. And believe you me, my children sing hallelujah in the background too. They don't need two of me in the house, they need this dad.
Love conquers temperament.
What? What does that mean?
We will serve the Lord with all our days. We'll always seek his face. We will worship now